What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Overtime Fantasy, where we go beyond the whistle to give you everything you need to give you that last-second push into the playoffs.
Push
Said
it
that
up.
last time. Yeah, you were talking about the last second push in the playoffs on Monday.
That was the last-minute push.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe? Was it?
Sorry, I didn't mean.
I don't know. Maybe I just made that up.
Yeah. So we've gone from minutes to seconds now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's counting
crunch
down.
time.
Yeah,
It's Friday.
Push it.
it is.
Salt and pepper's here.
Who sings that song?
Salt and pepper.
All right.
really?
So,
Nice.
Salt and pepper's here.
what we talk about today, Dan?
Oh man, we gotta hit up what just happened earlier. What came out as breaking news.
Oh,
Broke something.
I mean, well, obviously we're talking about the starts and sits on, because it's Friday, and wrap up kind of what happened yesterday between the Cowboys and Saints. But I mean, let's jump right into it.
Jump right in.
guys.
So I'm driving down the road,
Drive.
and I get a phone call from Tyler over here talking about how much I suck, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? He was like, I wanted Spencer Ware because Kareem Hunt's about to get the Ray Rice treatment. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I didn't know anything. I'm driving, so I didn't have my phone in my hand or nothing like that. And he was like, yeah, there's a video that just surfaced about him hitting a woman. I was like, oh, no way.
He didn't hit no woman. That was a teenager. He hit a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the guy's, 24 maybe?
Well,
He's only
23.
22.
22 years old.
He didn't hit her.
He
hit a guy that just fell into her.
He gave her a little Ronaldinho kick there at the end, though.
I didn't see the
he
kick.
did.
He gave her a little pat. It was a little pat.
The video I saw, it stopped right before it, I guess.
Oh, it was a little. It wasn't a brutal kick or anything, but she was down on the ground. He just gave her a little love tap.
Was it
Yeah,
a
it was
kick
just
to
too
make
much,
sure
I'm
she's
sorry.
alive?
Regardless, man.
What's that?
Was it a kick to make sure she's alive?
No,
She was going to stand up.
She was struggling, but the bottom line is it's just another incident where an NFL player, NFL superstar, just commits a stupid act of violence against a woman.
I think what's going to really hurt him was you could obviously tell, during the video, he's going after her.
Yeah.
And, in a very aggressive way. He is, in his eyes, you can see, he's trying to get at her.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the difference because, he technically didn't, other than that foot, but it was one of Logan's kicks, Kinder's Kid's kicks. It wasn't really powerful.
He didn't do it hard.
But it's just the fact that he went out there. I mean,
he did it.
It took two people to hold him back. She obviously was saying something to get him that mad and all that, but he had a guy holding him back, a girl holding him back with that guy, and that wasn't helping.
But this just tells you how powerful these guys are in the NFL because he wasn't running at full speed. He didn't hit the guy as hard as he hits a hole, when he dips his shoulder.
Yeah.
And that guy went flying and he hit a girl, and they both went across the hall.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much power they have.
It's
So.
it's
I
not
really-
good. It's not a good situation. If you have him on your fantasy team, because let's get back into the fantasy aspect of this thing. I mean, we're in no way, shape, or form are we even qualified to be talking about all this incidents and everything like that. We just want to make you aware that if you have him on your fantasy team and you relied on this guy week in and week out, and it's about to be playoff time, we feel bad for you. It's just
So immediately right now, pause the podcast or don't pause the podcast, whatever it is. Flip on over. If Spencer Ware's there, pick him up.
pick him up.
If he is there, you're probably not in a super competitive league because he should be gone by now. And if he is there, you obviously didn't listen to Overtime Fantasy where I told you to pick him up on Monday. So that was part of my waiver wire pickups was Spencer Ware, Malcolm Brown, those guys. So if he's there, pick him up immediately. But because he might get the start for the rest of the year. We don't know what's going on with that. Don't drop Kareem Hunt yet. Not until it's official that he's out for the year or whatever. But I don't think he's going to be playing on Sunday because he is on the commissioner's exempt list now.
You definitely don't drop Kareem Hunt right now. Because right now you don't know what's going on. They could see, okay, well, this happened. He's just going to start suspension next year, and he's gone out for 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, that's a guaranteed, could make you lose the playoffs because it's win or go home after this week. But you definitely need to keep him on your team just in case. It's not that he's not going to play this year.
Yeah. And so the big thing that we know about this right now, this happened in February. There were no charges pressed.
That's just insane.
Yeah. It's crazy that it's just now coming out. I don't know why. I don't know the reason.
And the Chiefs knew about it too.
Yeah.
So
and that's not good for that organization.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a sad thing to see. It's going to hurt a lot of fantasy, people that making that playoff push. But this is something that hopefully you listen to us, and running backs are more important, and you drafted a couple that maybe will be able to get you through the playoffs.
And not only that, I mean, if you were a Kareem Hunt owner and you didn't have Spencer Ware on your team or even on your radar, then you have to next year you have to pretty much change your game plan up, because we talked about it on numerous podcasts, not just the last podcast, but ones before that, is that going into the playoffs, you got to have these backups, these handcuffs. And if you have, just like with you, Mike, you have Todd Gurley in your main league. You made it a priority to get Malcolm Brown.
Absolutely.
Because Gurley could pretty much get benched because they get the number 1 seed, and Malcolm Brown will get a start, not just because of injury. So just having that handcuff, I mean, it's vital when it comes to this time of the year.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I'm here hoping that, I hope for the next 2 weeks, I hope the Rams lose. Because I want them to have to play for something, in week 15 and 16. So I got the bye in the playoffs. So, I'm kind of hoping they lose for the next 2 weeks, just so they have to really play hard in week 15 and 16 because they're playing for something.
Here's the thing. So Spencer Ware's backup is
Damian Williams. He's a 5th-year running back out of Oklahoma. Solid back in college.
I know he came out of. He played for the Dolphins, I believe.
He played for the Dolphins last year.
He's a pretty big back. He's 5'11", 224. Now, do you think that they will use a little running back by committee thing?
I
would say no.
Is this guy worth a pickup and a stash?
I mean, why not? If Spencer Ware was worth a pickup, and see what happens.
I would rather, me personally, unless you are now, if you do have Spencer Ware, then yeah, maybe he's worth a handcuff. But me personally, if I don't have Spencer Ware, I'm looking for someone, maybe like Rod Smith or Malcolm Brown.
Yeah,
someone like that.
Yeah, Damian Williams, he's nothing special. He ran for the Dolphins last year, and Kenyon Drake outperformed him. They cut ties with Williams. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Spencer Ware is going to be a top 10 back the rest of the year, in my opinion. I mean, you put a running back in that offense, they're just so explosive. They can score in so many ways.
Yeah.
Whoever steps in, he's going to produce.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
All right. Any other things we want to say about? I mean, this was huge. This is probably the biggest news we've heard all year.
All right, here's a question for you guys. Does this make Patrick Mahomes that much more deadly?
No, I don't think it really changes anybody else other than Kareem Hunt and Spencer Ware. I think it's about all. I think they might pass a couple more times a game or something, but I mean, maybe more to Spencer Ware. I don't know. I don't really think it changes too much.
Yeah, it's like Patrick Mahomes he's the number 1 quarterback now. He's definitely the number 1 quarterback now. So I don't think it's a huge bump in his value, and if it is, he's already the best in the league this year.
I tell you who could get a real big bump is Tyreek Hill, and because they do use him a lot out of the backfield sometimes, and on the end routes, so you could see him get a tick and rushing yards.
Okay.
What does this do for a Chris Conley though? A Chris Conley or I don't know the other.
Sammy Watkins.
Well, Sammy Watkins, I think he's hurt or questionable this week.
Yeah.
But I mean, what does that do for receivers that are in 4th string and 5th string that might now have to be called upon more because lack of running game?
Yeah, it's going to be,
or not so much a lack of running game, just because I know Spencer Ware is the man now in Kansas City, but I mean he was a backup for a reason. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm just curious as to, does this make possibly a play if you're in a bad situation at wide receiver for Chris Conley?
Well, a lot of people forget that Spencer Ware was the starting running back last year until he got hurt. And Kareem Hunt was a rookie that was not even supposed to touch the ball.
That was true, yeah.
And Spencer Ware was very sought after in drafts, and then he just got hurt and he was out for the whole year. So Spencer Ware can do it. They've seen, glimpses of it that they were confident in him to be named the starting running back 2 years ago when he was healthy. So he's, in my opinion, he's going. I'll talk about it later, but you'll see what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't rush to pick up like Chris
Other-
Conley though.
Other
or-
Chiefs players like. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and
let's
get
on
some of
these
these
starts and sits.
Absolutely.
All right.
Phil. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
I didn't mean to.
It's fine.
You guys are both like
we're
so
on the same
excited about these
page.
starts and sits.
We're
Yeah,
on the
we
same
are.
page, man. Same page of the book. It's fine.
You know,
It's a good novel.
What chapter? Chapter 13.
Chapter 11.
11. Oh, I knew it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why
What
couldn't
color
you-
am I thinking about?
Green.
Green.
Oh,
Why
this
couldn't
is
you,
amazing.
why couldn't you say chapter 13, week 13? Chapter
Nope.
11? What does that mean?
What's a number? 7.
I was going to say 9.
Oh,
That's just my favorite number.
you just ruined. All right.
But your number was 79.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Let's
how
get to
about
some
that?
of these starts
Okay.
and sits.
Everyone's like, let's turn this off right now.
Yeah.
John Stamos.
Wow.
The Chiefs are releasing Kareem Hunt.
There you go.
Whoa,
Breaking
whoa, hold on.
news.
You heard it here first if you're listening. How about that?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have this podcast out for another hour or so you probably didn't hear it
Yeah.
here first.
But
They-
it's pretty on
Breaking
point.
News. Like, this just come out. Like, it is 8:55. So when you're thinking, like, when did I hear this news? 8:55 p.m. on Friday.
Wow.
Shout out Brian Schlamian for blowing up the group text right now, just going crazy right now. I love it.
See, all right, let's.
Do you see why I was freaking out over here and you were like,
Yeah,
I was pointing at the phone.
I was trying to calm you down for a second.
All right, so this
This is
even
straight up
bigger
pandemonium.
news. Yeah. So all right, before we get to
Did
start,
I use that word right? I don't know.
I don't know, but it was
This
great.
is like this.
That's
is
what I was
crazy.
thinking about.
Like the Chiefs are. I'm sorry. Like this is almost like a dysfunctional move. They've
Really?
known about this for so long,
And
now that the video releases, now we're gonna release you. It's just
that's the same exact issue that I had with the Ray Rice situation.
yes.
Before the video, they knew that he punched his girlfriend or fiance at the time.
Right.
He punched his fiance and knocked her out. After the video, they knew that he punched his fiance and knocked her out.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? You hit a woman. Like,
That should be the only
Come on.
story over there. You hit a woman,
That's it.
It's a wrap.
that's it.
Now, because the video looks so gruesome, that's why they let him go.
Absolutely.
It's the NFL.
It's
The nasty football league, man. They
real
do some
fast,
nasty
and
stuff.
I know that we're not real fantasy relevant right now, but what does this do for Kareem Hunt's career? Is he going
It's over.
No,
You think it's
no,
over?
no way.
He's
no.
getting picked up like
I don't
as of
believe
tomorrow.
Washington? Is Washington going to pick him up again? They just picked up Reuben Foster.
Look,
They're going to pick him up too?
I don't condone domestic violence or any type of.
All right, here's my prediction. Okay, the Bucks they stuck with Jameis Winston this long. I think they can handle Kareem Hunt.
Here's the thing. I mean, remember Tyreek Hill when he was coming out of college? He
Yep.
wouldn't he punch the pregnant
It was
lady? Or?
no, it was. I think that whole scandal was just rumors or whatever. But he just said, "Look, I didn't do anything. If you want to punish me if you want to. But you're not going to find anything because I didn't do anything."
He
It was
pled
It was
guilty.
almost like a Ezekiel Elliott type thing.
He pled guilty to domestic abuse.
Because he's like, I'll plead guilty. You have no proof on me, but I'm just going to do it right now because this is going to get ugly if I keep saying it's innocent and blah, blah, blah. So Tyreek Hill basically said, yeah, okay, I might have done this, but I didn't hurt anybody. And it was along the lines of like a shove,
Yeah.
like to get her away from him or something like that. It wasn't a hit or anything like that.
Yeah. To be honest with you, a team that I could see picking him up in the next coming weeks is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. They've been looking for a running
See,
back.
I don't think he's going to be allowed in the league this year.
Yeah, I think. This,
I don't
think his
see that.
playing time this year is done.
I don't
Yeah.
see him maybe next year when this all like gets settled, but I don't think he will be on another team this year.
No, I think he'll be picked up, but he won't play again this year. I said
I'd be
that
surprised.
I called Kender and I said he's not. He's going to probably get and like we said, we don't condone assault, especially on women. Any assault's not right. So, but with that being said, this is football. It's a business, and it's not as serious as the Ray Rice, even though, I mean, it is an assault.
It's the same thing.
Ray
It's
Rice
the same-
knocked the girl out.
It's
and
the
out
same
cold.
thing, man.
Here's the thing. Like, I think if nobody was there and he was in the same situation as Ray Rice, he would have hit this woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With how mad he was, I think he would have hit this
we
woman.
can't speculate like that. though.
And we can't. But
Right.
here's the thing.
We can't even throw that out there.
He did hit her.
He was the
He shoved her,
aggressor.
and then he shoved another person into her, and then kicked her. Like,
Bottom line, you will never hear about anybody else in that video besides Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
He's an NFL superstar.
Yeah.
He is in trouble. He will not. I will be very surprised if he plays this year. I really will.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not playing this year, but I do believe he will get picked up by a team.
But man,
Okay.
it's like the Chiefs got caught with their pants down, and
But
like,
how
they
does
almost
this-
stabbed Kareem Hunt in the back. That's how I feel, because
They
if
obviously
you knew
had to
about
have
it
known.
for this long,
Yeah.
and then the video releases like, oh, all right, we're cutting you now.
Unless
Like,
they
you knew
didn't know.
about this.
Unless they didn't know. I mean, think about Hard Knocks when Antonio Callaway got arrested for the DUI or the drug possession.
yeah.
The whole Cleveland Browns organization had no idea what was going on until they heard it on the radio.
I thought the report came out that they talked with Hunt back like in August before the season
Oh,
started.
see, I didn't
No,
hear that part.
There was a lot of stuff coming. I didn't know about that until today, and there was a lot of stuff that was coming out saying that the Chiefs organization was aware of
That there
this
was an
event.
incident.
Yeah.
Well, they had to go off the police report, and the police said that there was no evidence of a crime, so there's nothing they could do. So the Chiefs just went off that. They didn't see the video until today, as long as the NFL,
Okay.
it just came out and released that. But let's get on these starts and sits.
Let's
Okay.
go. This is exciting
I'll-
news, but we can no
That was-
longer talk about
yeah,
it.
that's some good discussion. But
Yeah.
yeah, so who wants to start at the quarterback position?
I'll start it. I heard everybody take a deep breath right there, like they were all about to say, "I'll start it."
Nah, I just burped.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was my fault. Burped.
All right, so I have Russell Wilson starting.
Yep.
He's playing at home against San Francisco. To be honest, like Russell Wilson's been kind of quiet this year, and I went back and looked at it. He's really only had 2 bad games, and one of the bad games he scored 19 points. He had, week 2 it was he had 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. That's not terrible.
You know what it is? It's just not Russell Wilson like numbers. All
Yeah.
last year was like 30 points or better.
Yeah, and he's been doing, like you said, he's been doing like 25 plus points a week. A bunch of those weeks it's been 30. He hasn't hit the 40 mark yet, but I think he can do it this week against San Francisco.
I believe it so.
Yeah, I like it, man. The 49ers, like, if you look at that offense, how do they score points? I don't know. So, all right, I'm gonna go. I'll go Jameis Winston.
That's good, yeah.
It's funny that like a couple weeks ago that Jameis was just so irrelevant.
Dude, he was on the lame train. Toot, toot! Catching them splinters everywhere, by sitting down on that bench. It was bad.
Yeah,
You were all about Fitzy. What happened?
He got benched.
He became Fitz tragic. I get it.
I was about to say Fitz trash can. Yeah, and look, like, Jameis is. I think he's borderline almost start every week, but just the fact that he has that, he could be capable of just imploding in a game, which would make him, people be pretty much gun shy about playing him. But against the Panthers this week, their secondary has been one of their weaknesses all year. I feel like they will be behind in this game, and it has some shootout potential. So I'd play Jameis Winston confidently this week.
Yeah.
Guy I'm looking to start is Marcus Mariota against the Jets. He's at home. Marcus Mariota had a very solid game last week. He only did not complete 1 pass. And so I really think that this is going to be a big game for him against the Jets.
It's a must-win for them, too. And he's been playing better lately. And that was one of my streaming quarterbacks for the Monday podcast was Mariota, depending on how he played that night, and he played solid, so I like it.
He looked good. He did look good. Phil, what are you thinking?
My start?
Yeah.
You want to know?
I want to know your start. I'm excited.
I'm going with the guy that Dan predicted to go off in the next few weeks. About 2 weeks ago, you said this. You said this guy has a great favorable matchups coming up in the next weeks ahead, and that's Lamar Jackson. Not only was the first week he just ran for 117 yards and a touchdown, the next week he's out there with 5 wide receivers throwing the ball around, running everything, looking like college. This week he has a favorable matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. I like Lamar Jackson. I like him big and FanDuel, everything, all them one-game lineups. Start Lamar Jackson. Not only will he be able to run all over this defense, I even think he'll shred the defense in the air too.
The Falcons are so bad on defense. Here's the thing: they don't create turnovers. They're not really good at getting pressure on the quarterback. So, yeah, it's pretty much set up for Lamar Jackson to have a monster game this week inside of a dome too. All right, let's recap. Mike, you had Russell Wilson. I had Jameis. Phil, you had Lamar Jackson. Tyler had Mariota. So just looking at some of these rankings, Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson is kind of sandwiched in between Andrew Luck, Aaron Rodgers, Big Ben. So if you had Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers is playing the Cardinals. Would you play Russell over Rodgers?
Nah, I'd play Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Just because he's going against the Cardinals. That defense hasn't been very impressive at all this year.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't do it.
You got Luck at Jacksonville. Would that be someone you start Russell Wilson over?
That one would be much closer for me.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking I want to lean towards Luck over Russell Wilson on that one.
Okay.
Luck's just got more of a potential to put up 4 touchdowns and 400 yards, where Russell Wilson, he's going to get you those solid 30 points or whatever.
Yeah, I like Luck over Wilson. I don't like Aaron Rodgers this week over Russell Wilson. I just think that Arizona's pass defense is a little bit better than what we were giving it credit for. I think their run defense is pitiful. I think Aaron Jones is going to have a monster game.
Yeah.
And I'm going off of kind of just the ESPN rankings for Week 13. Me personally, man, I have in your league, Mike. Actually, I have both Jameis and Russell. I'm playing Jameis over Russell Wilson, and it's going to be hard to see Russell Wilson on the bench because that's a really good matchup that he has.
But Jameis Winston, man, we keep talking about every week. I mean, he's that fantasy quarterback you want because the Bucs will be throwing the ball all game.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson, their offense depends on the run game, and I mean the 49ers. Run defense is not good. Their whole defense is not that great. So it'll give Russell Wilson more opportunities to throw the ball. But Jameis Winston, man, that's a good start this week. I like it.
So I got one for Phil here.
Bring it.
You're starting Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Would you start over Lamar Jackson? Would you start Carson Wentz or Baker Mayfield over Lamar Jackson?
Maybe Carson Wentz. Maybe just because he's going against the Redskins. It's a Monday night game. Or is it Sunday night?
No, Monday.
Monday night game. I like that matchup, but I think that would be it. I like Lamar Jackson against the Falcons better than both those, really. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Carson Wentz, just because he's been so accurate the last couple weeks.
All right, what about Phillip Rivers?
I like Phillip Rivers over Lamar Jackson because of Melvin Gordon going down. I think they'll stick to the air game.
All right, so Tyler, you had Mariota.
Yeah.
So pretty much kind of like a streaming option. So obviously you're not going to be playing him over, the top-ranked quarterbacks like Goff, Cam Newton, and so on. But, if you have Marcus Mariota out there, you have someone like Baker Mayfield out there, you have Matt Stafford. Would you pick up Mariota over the other two?
Yeah, I actually like Marcus Mariota's matchup this week against the Jets.
Yeah, so Stafford's at home against the Rams. Baker Mayfield's going to be playing the Texans. So what about Mariota over someone like Tom Brady?
Ooh.
Because the rankings have Tom Brady kind of outside the QB1 range. He's kind of the high-end QB2. So would you play Mariota over Tom Brady?
Yeah, I actually have been on record this year. I do not like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's averaging I believe a little over 200 yards, things like 240 yards and a touchdown. That's all he's averaging this year. And I actually like Marcus Mariota against the Jets still. I mean, Tom Brady's playing against the Vikings, and the Vikings have a solid, front seven. So,
okay, all right. Let's get on to some of these sits. I'll start with this. I'm gonna sit Matt Ryan.
Good
So
sit.
your start was Lamar Jackson. If I had the choice between Matt Ryan and Lamar Jackson, I'm playing Lamar Jackson.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I know Matt Ryan is at home, And that Atlanta offense at home it's different than when they're on the road. And Matt
Right.
Ryan plays. It's almost like compared to like Big Ben a few years ago with the home road splits. But this Baltimore defense is a defense you don't want to attack.
Yeah,
There's just better options out there for me.
I think the Ravens defense matches up well with every receiver, but besides Julio Jones.
Right.
And I mean, Matt Ryan, he's been a solid hot hand fantasy quarterback this entire year. I just think that I think he still puts up decent numbers, but I think he'll struggle a lot more than it will show. So, fantasy wise, so I believe that Lamar Jackson has definitely the upper hand on Matt Ryan this week.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you're talking. I mean, week 13, it's a must win.
It's a must.
I wouldn't trust Matt Ryan. I mean,
Against this defense, I wouldn't.
yeah, that's tough.
All right, so I am going to sit Ryan Tannehill. And the reason why I bring up Ryan Tannehill, he's been out for 6 weeks. He come back, he had a decent game last week. He looked pretty good. And he's playing Buffalo this week. And a lot of people, when they think Buffalo, they think nothing but negative. Let me tell you right now, Buffalo is the hardest team for quarterbacks to score against. They allow the least amount of points to quarterbacks. So just to kind of put that in perspective, I'll talk about Mitch Trubisky. He went for 135 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, 324 yards, no touchdowns. Deshaun Watson went for 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers had probably the best game against them in that stretch.
Yeah.
With 298 yards, a touchdown, and interception.
Yep.
They completely shut down Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota. And then, I forgot about Andrew Luck being in there. Andrew Luck did have 4 touchdowns against them, but Andrew Luck only had 156 yards that game.
Yeah.
So they can shut down a quarterback.
Yeah.
And they've done it multiple times this year. And like I said, Kirk Cousins, did he even have points that game against Buffalo?
He didn't deserve points.
he didn't
He
deserve
knocked me out
them.
the
I like
survivor
that,
pool.
yeah. So my sit, and this is another thought for the future as well, because Buffalo, I think they have like the Jets, and I know that they have New England in like week 16.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you're willing to play Tom Brady against Buffalo in week 16? I mean, you're probably forced in a situation where you have to,
I
but
don't know, man.
that'd be a tough decision.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, but things change week to week, and that's
And
week
it
16.
is
That would
Tom
be pretty
Brady
much
and
the
the
championship game.
Yeah, and it is Tom Brady and the Patriots, so it's
Yeah.
going to be tough to sit that.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit. But
Sometimes
love biscuits.
I knew you were gonna say that.
biscuits.
You know what? My sit this week's, and it's going to be surprising, but I'm going to sit Deshaun Watson.
Wow.
Deshaun Watson's going against Cleveland. Cleveland has a great defense, and their attitude and morale has changed ever since Hugh Jackson has left, and Greg Williams has taken over head coach. They're flying to that ball. Denzel Ward's playing out of his mind. Myles Garrett and Ogba, they're just killing it. I think Deshaun Watson is going to have a game like Drew Brees had this week where Cleveland's just going to punch him in the mouth, and they're not going to have a game plan to bounce back from it.
Punch him in.
I don't think Cleveland's a great defense.
They're a good defense.
I think they're average. I think they're average.
I do kind of agree with Dan, and I do say they get a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
They get a lot of turnovers, but they still allow a lot of points. Like even with against Cincinnati, how many points Cincinnati scored? Like 24 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
that was
they
kind of late though.
It
But they
was.
did score. That you're right.
But like in fantasy football, it doesn't matter when you get the points.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a bad game like he had against the Redskins a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you look at Deshaun Watson's previous, I don't know, look at his 4 or 5 previous games. I mean, his pass attempts are in the mid-20s. You don't want to see that out of a starting quarterback. I believe his rushing attempts are there. He's getting the rushing yards. But yeah, I think he has a good matchup this week against the Browns, but I wouldn't be a surefire start for him this week.
Home or away?
They're at home. Cleveland.
Texans are at home.
Yeah, Texans are at home.
Yeah, they're at Houston.
I don't know how. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. if it's me, I don't know how you sit Deshaun Watson in this matchup.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, it.
Yeah,
I know the Browns' defense is better than what they get credit for, but they have a two-headed monster at wide receiver now instead of a one-headed monster. I don't know. To me, it's hard to sit them. It's hard.
I get that, and I really do. It's Deshaun Watson, and this is your Week 13, going to the playoffs. But the thing is the Texans, as an AFC South fan, the Houston Texans have a horrible offensive line. And Myles Garrett, Agba, and I can't pronounce the defensive tackle because it's like Abajana or
Abu Dhabi.
They're killing it, and they're very, very solid up front. And when you have Jamie Collins, Christian Kirksey, and Schobert coming in, also blitzing, it's going to cause huge problems.
Real fast, while we're on this subject right now, would you start? Obviously, you'd start Mariota over him.
You'd start Mariota over Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
Man,
wow.
I can't
That's
see
a
that.
stretch.
I can't see that.
We'll see on Sunday.
What about Matt Stafford?
No.
What about Chase Daniels?
No, God, no.
What about Jeff Driscoll?
No, you're naming guys that I would never even put on my team.
Okay,
I don't know. Jeff Driscoll's
those guys,
intriguing to me.
You're starting Deshaun Watson over all of them.
Yes.
All right, so what about Tom Brady?
I would start Deshaun Watson.
Matt Ryan.
Against the Ravens,
Yeah.
I'd start Deshaun Watson.
Andrew Luck.
Oh, Andrew Luck.
Okay.
Jalen Ramsey's not there.
I had to say
I just
it.
wanted to get one to where you said
So
something.
you're pretty high on Mariota this week.
I think Mariota has a very favorable matchup, and I think he's going. Like, if you have him and you're streaming him right now, you're going to have a good week, I think.
Okay.
They
I'm
home
very
or away?
confident. What, Tennessee?
Yeah.
They're home.
They're at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with that.
I don't think you've mentioned your sit quarterback.
I haven't had a chance.
Here you go.
Hey, I'm gonna sit Eli. All right,
Like
and
in real life or
in real
fantasy?
life, he's on my lame train.
Yeah, put him in the bench in real life.
Somebody else want to hit toot toot?
Toot toot.
He's on. He's grabbed some bench. He got some splinters. All right, now here's why. Okay, this guy, and I know I could have said a lot of other names easily, but I want to show you something. Eli hasn't notched over 17 points in the last 3 weeks, and this is going up against teams that included the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. He hasn't produced over 300 yards passing in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If it was any chance to start Eli, it was those weeks. Now he goes against the Bears. If you're saying like, oh yeah, well Eli's been doing okay, he's been kind of consistent, whatever, blah blah. There's not much out there. Don't do it this week. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm not starting Eli over anybody.
No.
Like I'm picking up Driscoll over Eli Manning.
And I honestly, I like Driscoll this week. I mean, he is a fast dude. He notched 22 MPHs on the touchdown run. We've seen it.
Super fast. Bro.
Super fast.
So all right. So to wrap up, all right. So Ryan Tannehill, Mike and Ryan Tannehill. I have Matt Ryan, Phil, Eli Manning, Tyler Deshaun Watson. I think we can all agree that Tannehill and Eli pretty much they're on the free agency. Don't touch them.
Don't touch
Just
them.
don't even start them this week.
Don't look at them.
So we already talked about Deshaun Watson, who to start over him. I would agree. I'd play Deshaun Watson over Matt Ryan. I'd play someone like Big Ben over Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. I think I would kind of have Matt Ryan in that Tom Brady territory.
Are we talking about? Oh, yours was Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just think there's so many options out there. I mean, I'd potentially. I think I said I'd play Lamar Jackson over Matt Ryan. I'd even look at like someone like Baker Mayfield over Matt Ryan this week.
Wow. That's pretty. Yeah. That's pretty bold.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
bold move, Kyle.
But it's against
the Ravens. They got a solid defense.
Yeah.
So
I would think about it. I don't know if I would pull the trigger. I mean, but that's where I kind of stand on him. So let's move on to
some of these RBs, man. All right, so I'll go. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna start.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't you do it?
I'm doing it right now. All right, listen up, people. Phil Star of the Week. Phil Lindsay. How about that?
I like that.
This guy has been
Phil Corella.
Well, you definitely start me.
In every situation.
Ain't no guess. I hear people. All right, so Philip Lindsay's been incredibly solid this last couple weeks. I mean, Royce Freeman coming back. Everybody's like, we don't know about Philip Lindsay. Then he balls out. He does it again this week. Start him. Start of the week.
Yeah, and oh my God, Bengals.
I'm pretty sure he's a
bad.
ninja. I'm pretty sure he's a ninja, this guy. I'm pretty sure.
How tall is he?
I think he's like 5'10", maybe 5'9". But
How's he that
I
tall?
believe he's like a ninja.
God, he runs like a freaking.
I think he has like MMA like skills in him. Like I think I've seen him do some kind of like taekwondo stuff, so that must help him.
All right, so my start this week is Austin Eckler. They're in Pittsburgh this week. With Melvin Gordon being out, Austin Eckler's getting the bulk of the carries. He proved that he can handle that last week with 103 yards and a touchdown. You were just talking about Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
Against Pittsburgh, he had 110 yards and a touchdown last week. Fournette put up big numbers, 141 yards, a touchdown against Pittsburgh. And McCaffrey had 138 yards and 3 touchdowns against Pittsburgh. I think that Austin Eckler's going to have a big game this week.
Okay.
I don't deny that. That was a good call.
I'm rolling Lamar Miller.
Don't do it.
I'm doing it. And look,
Tell me
man,
why you're
like,
doing it.
It's crazy, dude.
Now, I'll say this: Lamar Miller was almost my sit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I wouldn't put him in a sit category. I'd put him in kind of more like a he's not going to do what you think he's going to do category. Like he'll get you like 10 points or something, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
Maybe like 8 points.
Here's my reason behind it is that really, all right, so looking at Deshaun Watson's, previous games, they're not throwing the ball that much. And I looked at the Cleveland Browns run D. They've allowed the second most rushing touchdowns all year. They've 15. So, I mean, it's there for them to feed the ball to them. They're going to be at home. Unless Cleveland just comes out and just, puts points on them early, which I don't think will happen. I think they'll feature Lamar Miller, and I think he has a good game in front of him.
Okay.
My start of the week, Spencer Ware. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Where'd that come
I
from?
thought we said we weren't allowed to talk about this. Did
Wait.
you actually put him down?
Yeah, I
Can't
put
get
Spencer
that
Ware
pun.
down.
Right.
Come on, man. I said,
No, I asked you if I could put my
Where'd that
sit.
come from?
I asked you if I could put my sit as Kareem Hunt. But no, my start of the Ware is it's Spencer Ware.
I'm so excited about him. He's just
He's playing against Oakland. A lot of guys don't even know who he. I know there was a guy that listens to our podcast on Sunday, and he goes, "Kareem Hunt just screwed my fantasy season." I had to tell him to go pick up Spencer Ware. He totally forgot Spencer Ware was even on the team.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your info from?
So
Overtime fantasy.
now Spencer Ware, like I said, a lot of people forget that he was the starting running back 2 years ago, and he's a very solid running back. We saw it when Jamal Charles was there. He's going to have a huge game.
Where was he 2 years ago?
Ware, W-A-R-E, where was he?
You guys are ridiculous.
I know it.
Yeah, so real fast with Spencer Ware, God, it's kind of hard to you're really playing him over almost anybody. Okay, let me give you my situation because you are going to play him over almost anybody. So I'll give you my situation that I have in my main league. I have Todd Gurley. You're definitely not playing him over Todd Gurley. I have Joe Mixon.
I actually was thinking about sitting Joe Mixon, but in my opinion, you can't really sit Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
I have James White.
I'd start him over James White.
And I have Dalvin Cook.
I'd start him over Dalvin Cook.
Okay. Yeah, so.
In that kind of offense, it's kind of hard not to start him.
Remember,
You know what I'm
Rex
saying?
Burkhead is back. He's activated.
Yeah.
So, how are the Patriots going to handle that? Who is going to lose carries? Who's losing touches?
I don't know.
That's a
All the
conversation.
running backs.
That's a conversation for another day.
we
that's
can
a
do a whole
conversation for our live
podcast on
podcast.
Patriots
Yeah.
running backs, man.
Yeah, but all right. So Spencer Ware. Is he a top 10 running back this week?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
might break top 5 for real. I'm being honest.
Like,
he
is
has
he-
a favorable matchup against
Against
Oakland.
Oakland.
Like if
yeah.
you had like David Johnson, would you play him over David Johnson?
Yes.
I don't think
Wow.
that you would ever be put in a position to play him over day. Like I think you could kind of play both of them.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to just say, would you play him over this guy? Because he could easily be a top 10 running back this week.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, would you play him over David Johnson?
Well, let me put you in my situation. I have Alvin Kamara and David Johnson. If I was able to get Spencer Ware, I'd probably play him over David Johnson.
Man.
All
right. So, Austin Eckler, Lamar Miller, Philip Lindsay. All these guys, according to ESPN, are pretty much kind of borderline RB1s. So, Austin Eckler so you would play Austin Eckler over Lamar Miller?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you play him over Gus Edwards?
Yeah. This week I would.
Yeah. All right. One more name. Let's see. Someone that's ranked higher than him. They got Joe Mixon right above him. Would you play Austin Eckler over Joe Mixon if it came to that?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm still going. Joe Mixon. He plays pretty hard. Like he had a real good game up against Baltimore that week. That he kept taking himself out because his knee was bothering him.
Yeah.
And then he was out 2 weeks. To get his knee scoped. So I think Joe Mixon is a must start basically every week.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Philip Lindsay.
Yeah. What's up?
You play him over Austin Eckler? You had to.
I actually had these guys neck and neck. I believe that they'll both kind of do the same thing in a way. I think Philip Lindsay has a little bit more a higher ceiling than Eckler, just because I think the passing game is going to be the vocal point of the Chargers offense this week. Philip Lindsay is involved in all aspects of the Denver Broncos offense, so I think his ceiling's higher, but I think they'll both have around the same output this week.
Yeah, and
because they're kind of the same back.
He's almost like a must start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree, man. All right, let's move on to some of these sits at running back. Who wants to start this?
Well, it's only right that I started. Sorry, Kinder. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tevin Coleman here against the Ravens. The Ravens have only allowed 2 rushing touchdowns this whole season. They've given up the fewest points to fantasy backs this year. It's an easy sit for me. You sit Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I'm sitting Adrian Peterson. And here's my reason. Adrian Peterson will have a good game and then 2 bad games. He had a good game 2 weeks ago and then a bad game last week. Yeah. He's due for another bad game.
Yeah.
And he's going against Philly, and Philly's got a pretty good rush defense.
Yeah.
I'm sitting Adrian Peterson this week.
Yeah. I I hope he has a good game. Just because, with the Redskins being in playoff contention.
Yeah.
I will say this about Philly. I think I looked up their past, 3 or 4 against running backs. Like pretty much almost throughout the whole year, that Philly D was nasty against the run. But, recently, they've been giving up 100-yard rushers to... who would they... Oh, gosh, who they play? Barkley pretty much shredded them, but he's Saquon Barkley.
That's Saquon Barkley.
Let's see, the Giant... Or, I'm sorry. God, I'm drawing a blank. I just looked it up.
Not Dan Hudgens drawing a blank.
Crap. But, that's not a... I like the call because... You got a backup quarterback. You got, you're going into Philly. You have offensive linemen that are down. Yeah, I like the call. I'm going Jordan Howard. They have a really good matchup against the Giants. They traded their defensive tackle, Damon Harrison, to the Lions, and he was their best kind of run stopper. And even in a matchup like this, I wouldn't even trust Jordan Howard. You need to win to get in. I wouldn't play him.
I got Nick Chubb.
This is a huge surprise right here.
I got Nick Chubb. I think he's not going to be utilized as much as everybody thinks. I think this is going to be a game that Duke Johnson's going to see a lot of work.
They have been using Nick Chubb in the passing game, though.
I think this is the week that Duke Johnson has a huge week. Nick Chubb... Houston has a very good defense, and it's all over the field, and they've been flying to the ball here lately too. I think this is going to be a very defensive game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of scoring in here. I think Nick Chubb is a sit. He could hurt you.
Yeah, I think they just featured him though. He's pretty much the offense is almost built around Nick Chubb.
It's around him and Baker Mayfield. I don't like this as a sit. It is. It's your sit. I totally, but I just don't like this as a sit.
Whoa! What's going on?
It's a sit. It's a sit because of
kind of immature.
It's a sit because of Houston's defense. Houston's defense against the run has been doing very solid here lately.
Yeah, like I said, personally, I have Nick Chubb ranked in my top. I'd rank him in the top 15 this week.
Yeah. So all right.
But to
ESPN
each his own.
ESPN has him in like top 10.
Yeah.
So if you have Nick Chubb and let's see,
Would
Spencer
you play?
Ware. I mean, would you play Spencer Ware over Nick Chubb?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm going down further. I'm going down further the list. Would you play Carlos Hyde over Nick Chubb?
Ooh.
Yes.
I wouldn't.
You
do
would
that.
play Carlos Hyde over Nick Chubb?
Yes.
No. Oh.
I wouldn't.
Would you play Jordan Howard over Nick Chubb?
God no. You better say no.
No, I like Tariq Cohen.
Would you play Tariq Cohen over Nick Chubb?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too.
I'm willing to make.
Uh-oh.
Don't do it. You already owe me a chug.
I will do another chug that
take
Carlos
away the chug.
Hyde does not outscore Nick Chubb this week.
What's the bet?
Yeah, I don't know if you should do that.
What's the
All
bet?
right, is this just for like a wash of your chug?
Yeah. Like if I win this one, I really don't want to take my chug off the table.
Then you,
That's
you
kind of
guys
like
could do a
that's
chug
taking the
together.
easy way out.
Is it a double or
Yeah,
nothing?
we'll do it together. If I
Yeah,
win
you could
this
hold hands and do chugs
Gallon milk
together.
chug? Gallon milk chug?
one. Gallon milk chug.
Oh my god.
So you're going to do back-to-back gallon milks if you lose.
Not back to back. That'll never happen.
No, you gotta do
I'll
ga-
just
you
have to
gotta do
do it
back to
some
back.
other day.
You put this one off for 7 months.
All I'm going to do is let it wash over my body. I'm telling you. We'll talk about this off the air.
I'll take that bet
All right,
on the air right now.
All right, let's
All
keep
right.
it moving. Let's
That's
keep it
a
moving.
deal.
Let's
All right,
go.
so let's get some of these starts for a wide receiver.
Let's do it.
All right, anybody want to take the reins? All right, I will.
I'm gonna play Adam Humphries. I'm playing Adam.
Oh my
Humphries.
God, really?
Yeah.
$2. What's up?
Yeah. Oh, I do got $2.
All
He
right,
likes
wait.
that connection. He
He
thinks they're
likes
going to have
that
a big
connection.
passing
It has
game
been
this
pretty
week.
solid. It has been pretty
Hey,
solid.
so look, Deshaun Jackson's out.
He thumbed out.
Yeah. So, and like I said earlier, I feel like this is the game flow is pretty much going to favor the Bucks passing attack.
Absolutely.
Adam Humphries is a type of play that he's not going to dominate your matchup, but he's not going to lose you the matchup, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
he has a safe floor. I really feel like, he's going to get 6 to 8 catches, somewhere in the 60 to 70 yard range, and that's where I think his floor is going to be. And maybe he can sneak in a touchdown or two, but I feel like he's guaranteed almost 60 yards in this game because they're going to be throwing a lot.
Yeah, see, I think Adam Humphries is a safer play in like a PPR format. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
absolutely.
he'll get you like 8 catches for like 50-something yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But lately here, he's been getting touchdowns, and I like that play. I think the Jameis to Humphries connection it's real, people. Watch out.
And here's the thing, like I'm in a league where I'm playing you, Mike, and your team is like stacked.
You're
from top
out
to
of the
bottom.
playoffs.
If I had the choice of like Adam Humphries, and I picked up Mike Williams against the Steelers on Sunday night because I think Mike Williams has that potential to get I keep saying double-digit touchdowns, multiple touchdowns.
Hey, if he gets double-digit touchdowns,
That's
he is,
amazing.
I would be loving that.
he's going to be the talk of our fantasy stud of the past in 20 years.
No, this fantasy stuff in the past, like yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it all depends on your matchup. Like if you need someone who's going to be like safer because you need someone that can present that floor that will not kill you, then you get someone like Adam Humphries.
Yeah, man, I agree with that 100%. I like that play. Go
All right.
Bucks. Go Bucks, Dan. You're picking $2. What's up?
I low key just like love him.
I always knew you did, buddy. I knew the Redskins
All
thing
right.
was a front. I knew
All
it.
right, so my start this week is going to be Kenny Galladay.
Explain yourself.
I will. I'll explain myself.
They're going to be down 105-0 with like 10 minutes left in
10
the first
minutes left in
quarter.
the first.
Gotta love it. Gotta love those odds.
They're going against the Ram, and we've been talking about here the last couple of weeks. We've been talking a lot about how we're going to sit Kenny Galladay. We've been talking about that because we don't know if he can handle getting 100% of the attention. With Marvin Jones out, Golden Tate out, but Kenny Galladay just goes to show you that the volume will get you the points. In the past 3 weeks, he's averaging 12 targets a game. I think he had 13 3 weeks ago, 15 2 weeks ago, and 8 last week. So he's averaging 12 targets a game. He's catching about half of them. But give me 6 catches, when you're down big, those 6 catches are going to be fairly deep. So I think he has the opportunity to put up 100 yards, and then maybe get a touchdown for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I agree.
Who you got, Phil?
Tyler Lockett. I think this is his breakout year. Doug Baldwin has usually been the target for Russell Wilson, but lately here, Tyler Lockett has been getting in the end zone every week. Last week, he put up a monster game, and I think it shows again this week against 49ers.
Remember, what did I say? It was the overreaction this past Monday. The Tyler Lockett in a standard league was like 13th this year. Like, Tyler Lockett, 13th. It's
he's right outside of being an RB wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, cool, man.
Guy I'm starting this week, Anthony Miller, against the Giants. I think, oh man, I was going to say this guy, but I see you're going to be talking about him next. But there's a certain guy that I feel like is going to be getting shut down by the Giants secondary, and I think Anthony Miller could thrive in that situation. Mike, do you want to explain who that guy might be?
Go ahead. I'll just touch him real fast on the sits.
I really do think Allen Robinson's going to get taken away out of the game plan.
Okay.
All right. Right into the sits. What we got?
Yeah, let's go into the sits, and then we'll kind of just compare.
That'll work. That'll work. Yeah, so my sit's going to be Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
I just think he just hasn't really had a whole lot of startable games this year. He's been just he had like a real big game, 2 weeks ago? But they're going against New York. New York is a surprisingly good defense against wide receivers.
Yeah.
So I think Allen Robinson is a good sit this week.
And not only that, you have Chase Daniel. He's not going to produce eye-popping numbers. He's barely going to produce average numbers at the quarterback position. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good call for Robinson. Going back with Miller, he's been coming on lately, and who knows? Maybe they have that type of connection. But you got Janoris Jenkins, their number one corner. He's probably going to be on Allen Robinson all game.
Yeah, I think a quick slant or something that get Anthony Miller open quick so he could score a touchdown or something.
Yeah, my set's Doug Baldwin. I actually dropped Doug Baldwin in one of my main leagues, and I went because I kind of felt bad just because his name just has value to it. And I went to see who picked him up, and he's still out there. No one wants him. I'm not going to say that. No one in our league wants him. And you're in week 13, if you need a win, it's hard to trust someone that pretty much almost got downgraded to the third option on this team. Because Lockett and David Moore are playmakers in this offense now. And he's only scored one time this year. I wouldn't trust my fantasy or my playoff hopes in Doug Baldwin's hands.
Yeah, I agree. I really been surprised with Moore, though, honestly.
He makes plays, man.
I really have been surprised with him. I mean, I didn't really know too much about him, and then just watching the last couple of weeks, the Seahawks offense, I'm like, man, Russell Wilson targets him a lot.
Yeah.
So, Doug Baldwin is starting to become, like you said, the third option.
And I'll say this because I still think Doug Baldwin has plenty of good football in front of him. It's just the Seahawks, they don't pass the ball enough, They still run the ball more than 50% of the times, which I think leads the league. And if they were to throw the ball more, then maybe Doug Baldwin would benefit, but I'm not trusting him.
Yeah. My sit of the week is going to be Michael Crabtree, and the only reason I'm throwing him out there because a lot of people do know to sit him. He hasn't been very good, but he got a touchdown a couple weeks ago, and so he has a favorable matchup against the Falcons, and a lot of people are going to see that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I got Michael Crabtree. It's against the Falcons. They have a horrible defense. Let me play him."
Yeah, I don't think it would be a terrible play, but if you don't have anybody else to play, he could get that sneaky touchdown. But I agree, I don't like any receivers for the Ravens. I don't like it.
The only receiver I would think about starting would be maybe John Brown or Willie Snead.
Lamar Jackson.
I wouldn't even.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson sucks as a passer.
Yeah,
he's not that bad though.
As a passer,
he's not that bad.
He's bad. He's bad throwing it deep.
He's gonna show you this week against that offense or that defense.
He has a blow up spot this week, so
yeah,
I can't wait to see him play. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
So who's your sit?
I'm sitting Calvin Ridley. This game, the Falcons' offense, I think is going to go through two people. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones connection. That would be it. I mean, I think that would be the only offense you see out of the Falcons this week. And Calvin Ridley, I don't see him producing. The Baltimore defense doesn't give up that many points to slot receivers or any wideouts. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Falcons this week.
Yeah, I think Mohamed Sanu plays majority of the snaps in the slot, and that's the area to attack this Ravens because they have Jimmy Smith and I think Brandon Carr, and those are pretty much the best, two cornerbacks. That's the best duo in the league. So.
And Weddle out there with the safety.
Yeah,
so, I mean
I like the call.
Yeah.
All right, so Mike, you had Kenny Galladay as your start, Allen Robinson as your sit. I had Adam Humphries as a start, Doug Baldwin as a sit, Tyler Lockett as a start, Calvin Ridley as a sit. Tyler had Anthony Miller as a start and Crabtree as a sit. So, Tyler, if you had, all right, so you had Anthony Miller as your start. Would you start him pretty much over all the wide receivers that were sitting? Would you start him over Calvin Ridley?
No.
Okay.
Chase Daniels throwing the ball. I'm thinking as a sneaky flex play, Anthony Miller could be a starter. But Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan's throwing the football. So,
would you play Anthony Miller over my start, Adam Humphries?
No.
Okay.
I actually love Adam Humphries this week, and you wrote him down right before I got the board.
So another question: would you actually start Anthony Miller
in a flex? It's a flex. It's not a great play. I mean, the thing is Allen Robinson's going to be locked up. Taylor Gabriel has been off and on. The only consistent person there has been Anthony Miller, and then in a flex, he can get open quick. I mean, the Giants secondary is slim to none. So.
There's something about these backup quarterbacks having connections with like the fourth string receiver or third string receiver because of the scout team and like the reps that they get. I could see that, honestly. I could see Chase Daniels having a better connection and just having a nice duo with Anthony Miller. I could see that.
Yeah.
So Mike, would you play Kenny Galladay over Phil start Tyler Lockett?
Don't you say it.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, man.
What about someone like, what do you got on the other side of the ball, like Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods? Would you play Galladay over them if it came to it?
No, not at all. Yeah.
So you're pretty much in line with the ESPN rankings.
Or ESPN's in line with us. How about that?
I like that.
That's how it is.
ESPN
That's how it's
sucks.
going down, Espen.
Shout out ESPN. I'm sorry. Whispering to Matt Berry. I hate him.
Are we saying Aspen or Espen?
So Adam Humphries.
Yeah.
Would you start him over Alshon Jeffrey?
No, I can't do that. I wouldn't go that far.
Would you
Larry
start
Fitzgerald?
him? Ooh, I actually like that.
That's tough, man. And Larry Fitzgerald's been coming on lately. I would say no because I would think the Cardinals will get down and they still throw.
Who has the better game, Mike Evans or Adam Humphries?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
You think?
Yeah.
The Carolina corners they're pretty suspect. Even their number one corner.
Okay.
All right, what about Demaryius Thomas?
I would start Adam Humphries over Demaryius Thomas. I think he just presents a better floor.
Okay, all right.
I like those answers.
Who was Phil's start?
Tyler Lockett.
That's right.
So so back to you. So would you do Lockett over Galladay?
Yeah, that's my start.
Ooh.
I said it.
Hey, don't need to be sassy about it.
If I wanted to start
honestly,
Kenny Galladay, I would have picked him.
You know what's funny? I was going to write Galladay, and then he beat me to it.
So would you? All right. So he's ranked in line with like Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman. Would you start Lockett over either of them against the Vikings?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would. I really like the matchup with the 49ers.
What about Emmanuel Sanders versus Cleveland?
Yes, I still start Lockett.
Ooh, I don't know if I could do
I
that.
would. Just because I like the matchup. I like the matchup
Emmanuel
against the
Sanders
49ers.
is facing the Bengals.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
That's next week. My bad. Yeah, against the Bengals. Thanks for correcting me, guys.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman.
I just said that.
We've already said that.
Yeah, my bad. AJ Green.
Is he even alive?
Yeah, he's playing. He's
Yeah.
back.
Is he
He's
breathing?
back. So that's
Does he
easy
have
one
a
for you.
pulse?
First of all, is Tyler Lockett breathing? Yeah, you start him. No, I'm telling you, I really like the matchup. If it wasn't for the matchup, I would play AJ Green above him.
All right.
Real fast on just a couple tight end sits. Does everybody have a tight end start?
Yeah.
I have a start.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
I have a start.
So I'll go ahead and
pretty
start.
quick,
this.
yeah.
Okay, I'll jump in front of you
All
and
right.
just go Cameron Brate.
Oh,
Got that buck.
Hey man, I wanted that buck.
I got that buck. I'm a Tampa boy. I'm picking Buck. We're going Cameron Brate. Jameis Winston and him have this weird connection, just like with Humphreys. So I think it's Humphreys. Put it this way, I believe that Adam Humphreys and Brate will have a better day than Mike Evans.
Like combined, or like each one will have a better day than.
Each one of them.
Well, really? Wow.
Yeah, I do. I think the vocal point will be on Mike Evans, so that will free up a lot of space for Humphreys and Brate connection.
Okay.
I'm going to go Janu Smith.
He's already played.
What?
Yeah,
That was Monday night. Holy cow,
dude, he already played Monday night. It's a new week. Though.
You got to owe me dinner or something.
dude! Like,
He's already played weeks 1 through 12.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you could play him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janu-
Look, guys, we
like,
are
literally we were sitting in his last podcast, and we like that felt like 2 days ago.
It's kind of crazy, guys. We've been working so much overtime here. It's a late hour right now.
Hold on,
Kinder's been up for 37 hours straight.
If it was
amazing.
if it was felt like 2 days ago, it'd still
It's
be
still
week 12.
okay, but I'm just saying it felt like it was just recently.
Okay, it was.
Okay.
It was Monday, but
So all right, Janu Smith against the Jets is my start. Is that okay, Kender?
no,
He hasn't played yet.
I take that out. You're not allowed to start him.
Man, you
If
better,
you start him in my league, I'm taking him off the board for you.
Kinder, you need to tighten up,
I know, man. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Ooh, nice.
right?
Yeah,
You need to tighten up.
Why was that nice?
because it was a tight end.
Titan. Titan.
See,
You're going home. You're benched.
Man,
I had 2.5 hours sleep last night, y'all. Well,
All right,
give
let's
me a
get
break,
this
all
rolling
That's
on
what
to
I'm
something
saying.
that's
He's
more
been up
important.
like-
Well, I
75
got
hours.
Matt Lacoste because Jeff Heuerman, right?
Yeah.
here.
He's on the IR. And the Bengals, they're so bad just everywhere on defense. I think you can attack this team with every position. So, I mean, he's a deep sleeper. You're not going to play him over some of these top guys, but if you're desperate, I think he's going to be a solid play.
He's like Kinder. He's a deep sleeper.
No, he's not. He's a light sleeper with 2.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. It's
Kinder about
not, it's
to
not
be
very
deep
good for me
sleep
right
later.
now.
Yeah.
So, I got Gerald Everett starting against Detroit.
Yep.
In the last 2 weeks, he's had 3 touchdowns. So I think he can get another touchdown. I don't think he'll get a whole lot of yardage, but I do think that he does benefit with Cooper Kupp being out. I think it'll be a decent start this week.
Okay.
So out of all these guys that we named, I mean, obviously they're not like top-notch plays, but I would say Cameron Brate's probably the best one out of the 4 here, I would think.
Yeah, Cameron Brate or my Janu Smith, either one. I've liked him for a while, and just never pulled the trigger on picking him up, and I'm kind of kicking myself for that.
Yeah. I mean, do we have to compare some? I mean, tight ends are kind of they're cut and dry. Like you got guys like Kelsey Ertz, and then Ebron's he's up there in the rankings. Gronk. So yeah, obviously you're not starting these guys over any of the top players. So
Yeah.
all right, that's it. I mean, let's not even talk about who to set a tight end because at this point, I think any tight end is justified to be playing. So let's talk about the game last night with.
I mean, it's you don't have to talk much about it. I mean, the Saints got punched in the mouth. They didn't have a game plan to get back on top. That's about it.
Yeah, the Cowboys kind of shocked me with that. Like, I didn't think that they were just going to come out and win,
I think the Saints got a little too, feeling themselves a little too much. Like, we beat the Rams. We're number one offense. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
And they've also played 3 games in 11 days, So that really takes a toll on a lot of them players as well, So I'm kind of expecting them to come out next week, firing on all cylinders.
Like Dallas Cowboys defense. I mean, is this a defense that you can pick up? And I mean, they just shut down one of the best offensives.
I don't think it was that. I think it was mainly like what Kinder said. The Saints played that many games in that many days, so it's true that many games and nonstop wear and tear on your body. It'll shut you down for a little bit. I think the Cowboys just got the better of them, and maybe we'll see them in the playoffs again.
Yeah. I will say, there's been a few times this year where I'm like, wow, that Cowboys defense is nice,
Yeah.
but it's not consistent. You know, it is like last night. You look at it and you're like, holy cow! Like this Cowboy defense is for real.
Yeah.
But next week they'll go out and let a team score 30 points on them.
So are you nervous about any players from the Saints?
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm worried about Michael Thomas. The last 2 weeks, he's had 3 points last week and 4 points this week.
Really?
He put up like 27 to 30 points in the first 3 weeks. I mean, he's been going down right now.
You know what? You know who they play next week? So I think they play the Bucks.
And the Bucks
Your
always
worries will
play
be-
the Saints tough. I told you that the week one, and
Worries
week
will be
one the
lifted
Bucks
next
won.
week.
I hope you're right and wrong at the same time.
You got anything else
that's
for
it.
this game?
Other than that's a solid defensive core that's very young and it's going to just keep getting better over time. So
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We've got to talk about the kickers, man. That was like the focal point of the offense.
All right, and this podcast is over.
I picked Spencer
We
Ware.
interrupt this broadcast with some other news.
Like, shout out to Brett. Is it Mayer? Brett Mayer?
Yeah.
That is
Mahir or
Yeah,
something
it's-
like that.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my hero.
Are you guys talking about these
It's the kickers. Kicker
We
for
don't-
Dallas.
Man, we
hear
kicked
about
that.
no kickers.
We kicked that segment out the window.
We don't want to hear about no kickers.
I was
Unless he's an ambidextrous kicker, and we want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's
If he can kick with both feet, we like that.
one year, I think when the Cowboys were struggling with injury, they were like really bad. I don't know how long ago it was, but like the commentator was like, I think they were punting the ball. It's like, yeah, the punter's having a really fine season. Like when the commentator says that, your team just sucks.
It's terrible.
Hey,
Your team is a trash can.
guys, I just want to tell everybody we all appreciate everybody that got their entries in for that Jack Youngblood jersey. We are going to be picking the winner live on our Facebook Live at Overtime Fantasy on Facebook. Starts at 11:45 a.m. Get there, and you'll see who wins this jersey. It's sick.
Yeah. We appreciate all the support. We thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in once again. We'll see you next time.
Anything to say, Dan? I hate people.